Welcome back to Fox and Friends. First, a Fox News alert for you. At least 12 people are dead, dozens more injured after a hijacked truck slams into a packed Christmas market in Berlin.
So what does this mean for potential terror here at home ahead of Christmas, New Year's, and then, of course, the inauguration?
Lots of stuff going on. Here to weigh in is Ryan Mauro. He is the national security analyst for the Clarion Project. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Thanks for having me.
So I was driving home from our Christmas party last night, and I drive through Columbus Circle, and there, of course, is that Christmas village, a very similar village as to what was there in Berlin, and there were police cruisers lined up all the way around the perimeter. So definitely an increase in security here at home as a result of this. But what can we do?
Well, obviously be vigilant, but celebrate Christmas, celebrate the fact that the ISIS Caliphate is reducing, but be aware of the threat that we are facing, particularly in Europe. I can't think of the last time that I've seen this number of foiled plots and people being arrested. Don't just focus on the successful attacks. If you need to get a full picture of the threat, you have to consider those that are being arrested and the foiled plots, and it really is sky high, so you can bet that there are operatives right now planning on trying to do something around the holidays, but our FBI and the various counterterrorism personnel around the country are going to do their best to stop it, but resources are limited, and that's an unfortunate reality of the times that we're living in.
The times that we're living in, here's Donald Trump tweeting this yesterday. He said, "Today there were terror attacks in Turkey, Switzerland, and Germany, and it is only getting worse. The civilized world must change thinking." We've been hearing, though, reports over the past few months that the ISIS leaders, Ryan, have been on the run. They've been coming out of hiding, and we've been hitting them with drone strikes, really decimating the central leadership there. So how is this changing right now? The leadership is being decimated, and yet these attacks are happening in markets around the world.
Right, well, there's a catch-22 here. We should be celebrating the reduction of the ISIS Caliphate, but the first preference of ISIS supporters is to go to the Caliphate, which they view as this type of paradise on earth that they want to experience. But as it becomes impossible for them to join this Caliphate, then what's their next option? Carry out an attack within the area that they resided, such as Europe or the United States. And so as ISIS is decreasing, you actually see an increase in the number of operatives carrying out attacks. But I would point out in Donald Trump's tweet, what I was very happy with is that he included a shooting attack on a mosque in Switzerland among those 3 terror attacks in his tweet, because that undermines the ISIS narrative that there is going to be this big battle between the Muslim and non-Muslim happening in Europe, which they say is their strategy, that they want to provoke an anti-Muslim backlash that enables them to recruit in Europe. So pay close attention to how Europe responds to this latest terrorist attack.
Yeah, and so why do you think that something like that, the shooting at the mosque in Switzerland, doesn't get as much coverage? We don't hear about that as much.
Well, it's not covered as an act of war. The reason that an ISIS attack will get more coverage is because right now we're in war mode. That's an enemy assault, whereas something like a hate crime like that is going to get less coverage. It was getting a significant amount of coverage, but then you had the Russian ambassador getting killed on TV, and then you had the terrorist attack in Germany, and so those issues are going to just dominate and make most people forget about the shooting attack on the mosque. But Donald Trump did not forget about it, and I'm glad that he made that clear to the world that attacks like that is something that he rejects and not something that the United States would embrace, and that there isn't this division like ISIS makes it sound like exists.
All right, Ryan Mauro, always great to see you. Thanks so much, and have a good Christmas. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Ryan.